Hi, I'm Dr. Lenore Coleman, President and founder of Healing Our Village and Total Lifestyle Change. Welcome to our diabetes prevention program. Today's session is called Get Support. Getting support from your friends, your family is so critical. So during this session, we're going to tell you how to get that support so that you can start moving toward a healthier lifestyle in order to prevent type 2 diabetes. Now, we're going to talk about how to get support from your family, your friends, and your coworkers. Also, where you can find groups and classes and clubs that you can join and activities that are out there that you'll enjoy. And also how to interact with your healthcare professional team that you should all have. It takes a team, it takes a village actually, to prevent type 2 diabetes. So we're going to talk to you about that as well. So here's some tips. Number one, tell your family, your friends, and your coworkers what you're doing and why you're doing it. And tell them that you're going to need them to help support you through this lifestyle change. It's really important. The second thing is you can go to your local library or your recreation centers, your community centers, your senior centers in your area and try to figure out what sorts of classes, groups, clubs that they already have going that you can join. And then pick the one that you like the best. In fact, pick a couple because you want to try some new things that you may have not tried before. So go to your local area. The good thing about going locally is it won't take you so long to get there in terms of going from your home to these various areas. And a lot of them actually are very inexpensive, and sometimes it's even free. Let's talk about Jim. This is Jim's story. So Jim is at risk of developing type 2 diabetes, and he's made a lot of healthy changes in his eating and his fitness over the last few months. Now, but he always doesn't get the support that he needs from his family, friends, and coworkers. So we're going to try to fix that. So Jim at home, his kids are always complaining about missing their favorite foods. Pizza and ice cream. His wife resents the time that Jim spends working out instead of being with the family. His mom keeps telling him that he's fine just the way he is. And some of his coworkers are always bringing his favorite candies to the workplace, which makes it really hard for him to avoid the temptation. Now, his wife no longer resents Jim spending time away because now the two of them are going out dancing. So what Jim did was he included his wife into his exercise routine and into his activities. And that's very good for her and for him, so they can both be healthy. So ask the whole family to participate in your fitness routine. Maybe you want to play soccer, or maybe you can play tag or hide and go seek or whatever with the kids after dinner. Or all of you can go on a walk or a bike ride. All of that is a way to spend time with your family, but yet include your exercise routine into that daily habit. Now, in terms of changing his lifestyle, Jim's mom now, she's trying to get into the picture. So she's thinking about changing her lifestyle as well. And his co-workers have stopped putting candy out at the workplace, so Jim's not tempted to eat all that candy. So Jim has really looked at ways within, again, his family, his friends, his co-workers, to include them in his lifestyle change. And that's a really important thing that all of us need to do. Now, when you're looking at trying to get support from your friends, family, and coworkers, your family and friends, they do care about you, and they want you to be successful. So as long as they understand what you're doing and why you're doing it, they will definitely be more supportive. Here are some ways for you to let your family and friends know more about what they can do. So you should start talking to them about type 2 diabetes and how to prevent it. What you may find out is many of those folks that you're talking to also have type 2 diabetes or have pre-diabetes, which is why we're doing the diabetes prevention program. So by them knowing more about type 2 and about preventing type 2 diabetes, you're going to actually help your friends, families, and co-workers. The other thing you should think about is trying to encourage them to start leading a healthier life. Give them regular updates on your progress, and also ask them nicely to support your efforts. And then give them and start setting some rules within your workplace, right there, at least where you're at your desk, and definitely rules in your household. So you have to set family rules for everyone to participate in. You could also invite them to be active with you. Plan to shop for the food together as a family. Don't let people put all that extra stuff in your shopping cart. And then cook and eat healthy foods as a family. We're in the middle of summertime now. I think that I know I love to grill. I actually grill during the summer and the winter. And so grilling outside as a family is a way to have everyone participate in eating healthier foods. Now here's a chart, and this is a way for you to start working on how to get support from your family, friends, and coworkers. So what you're looking at is on the left-hand column, these are sort of ways that are hindering you changing your lifestyle. And on the right-hand column, you're going to write down how you will actually get folks support to be able to not bring up these barriers of resistance for you. So an example is, on the left-hand side, you say, my husband maybe buys potato chips and brings them home. On the right-hand side, what you're going to do is remind your husband that you're trying to not eat fatty foods, that you're trying to prevent type 2 diabetes, and ask him very nicely if he would stop buying the chips and bringing them home. If he has to buy chips, then leave them at work so it's not tempting you. So at the end of this session, what I want you all to do as a group is start to write down ways that is hindering your healthy lifestyle, and then how you're going to get support from your saboteurs, or the folks out there that are making it hard for you, how you're going to get their support to be an encouragement to you. Now, here's some other ideas that you might want to think about. You got to think about these groups, these classes, these clubs that you can join. Now, there's some of these are actually online. I have a good friend of mine who's joined an online walking club. And so they actually have their own exercise trackers. They walk every day, and at the end of the day, they compare notes to see who actually did the best. So she's doing this as an online activity. And at the end of the 2 weeks or 3 week sort of contest that they do, they actually send the prizes to the highest person in terms of the number of minutes per week that they walked and exercised. But we mentioned the community centers, the senior centers, those things that are out there in your community. Get out there and figure out if anybody's doing cooking demonstrations. Are there anybody doing healthy eating or healthy cooking kinds of activities? In terms of fitness, there might be a basketball team or a biking club, or as we talked about, going out and doing some line dancing or some ballroom dancing, hiking, martial arts. You can even think about Tai Chi. Tai Chi is a way to improve your balance. It also helps you do a little bit of meditation, as does yoga. So those are out there for you as well. Of course, running, joining a soccer team, a softball team, walking with a coworker or a family or a friend. And then we talked about in some of the earlier sessions about weightlifting, resistance training, so trying to build up those muscles. So how do you find this information? Well, you can contact the American Diabetes Association at 800-DIABETES, or check with your local library or some of the recreation centers in your area. You may want to ask your doctor. A lot of times doctors or the nurses in your at your office, doctor's office, knows about these various activities in their community. You can contact community groups. There's something called meetups. If you go online, if you Google meetups, these are clubs throughout your city where they're actually doing activities that you might enjoy. Look for postings at your gym, even postings at your supermarket. There's a bulletin board at most supermarkets where a lot of these clubs are recruiting members. But you got to get started. We don't want you to wait until you find the perfect group. We want you to get started, and then as you're trying to get started, you start looking for people and friends and, again, family that can support you and maybe exercise and become your exercise buddy. Let's talk about the professionals that you're going to be working with. There's a whole team that needs to be put in place to work on your diabetes. It takes a village, it takes a team for you to be able to achieve your goals. So I guess one of the top leaders of the team, especially for folks who have diabetes, is your endocrinologist. These are specialist doctors that specialize in diabetes, and they can help you with the medical side of your medical treatments and the medications that you could take if in fact you have diabetes. But many of you out there just go to primary care physicians because you have, as you know, pre-diabetes. So what you need is a lifestyle coach. And so the folks that are bringing you together for these diabetes prevention program sessions, these folks are trained lifestyle coaches. So work with them, talk with them, interact with them on a weekly basis. Come to the classes every week or every month so that you'll be able to work with that coach and develop a rapport. We here at Healing Our Village strongly believe in nutritionists and dietitians being involved in your program. It's so important for you to have a healthy diet. Your primary care provider, he is the captain of your team. He can definitely help teach you more about type 2 diabetes and why you're at risk. And he and she can help you learn more about how to prevent the disease by referring you to other healthcare professionals. Psychologists and psychotherapists. A lot of you actually may be eating because of stress and strain and coping things that you need to do in your life. You may not know how to do those coping skills and those coping tactics and strategies. Sometimes you may need to go to a psychologist or a psychotherapist because it'll help you cope with your thoughts, your feelings, and some of these negative behaviors that you may have. There are recreational therapists that can help you manage daily life. There are social workers that can help point you in the right directions for these various social clubs that we talked about, fitness clubs. And then there are trainers. For those of you who have enough money to hire a personal trainer or an exercise physiologist, they can put together an exercise routine for you that will help you sort of get to your exercise goals. But in most cases, you can really do this on your own. I happen to be an avid swimmer. I'm lucky to have a pool at my house. I just bought some 5-pound weights to put on my ankles, and so now it's a little bit harder for me to do my laps because of the weights that are on my ankles. So I'm trying to do this right there at my home. I walk right around my block, and I'm doing the kinds of things where you just walk a little bit longer and a little bit farther every day to try to get in that exercise. So you can do this. You can do this. And once you do it, not only will you start to lose that 5 to 10% of your body weight that we need you to lose, but you're going to start feeling better. So getting support is really important. I want to thank you again for your attention today. We hope you enjoyed learning how to get support. For more information about the other modules or to help you begin changing your lifestyle, go to hovhealth.com, or you can always call Healing Our Village at 800-788-0941. Thanks again.